Bronx Zoo. Sparky Lau once said that being with the New York Yankees was like being at the Bronx Zoo. So in honor of Sparky Lau, Monday's show will be in your honor, Sparky. And we're going to have, from the music world, Felix, Cavalieri. And then from the baseball world, we are going to have the man who blew the ball foul, Lenny Randle, baseball's most interesting man. And of course, if we can get a gorilla out of here, we will have him out for Monday's show and show what we do in the community. We're always in the community. So Monday, reach out with Ray and Steve and the guys from the Bronx Zoo. See you guys Monday, 7 p.m., 8:30 on Bronx Nuts.
Reach out, oh, with Ray and Steve. Reach out, with Ray and Steve. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the car.
Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to Reach Out with Ray and Steve. A very pleasant good evening to you as we're 10 days away from baseball season starting. Oh, wow. Let's welcome on our host, Mr. Ray. Mr. Steve, come on in, gentlemen.
Hey, Robby.
Hey, Robert.
They're having baseball on the West Coast this year?
We are World Championship Baseball.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. This is Reach Out with Ray and Steve every Monday from 7 to 8, right here live on Facebook and YouTube and BronxNet, 8:30 to 9:30. Robby from the West Coast, us from the East Coast, and Ray, we're back in studio.
We've been back in the studio for 3 weeks. I mean, I don't know what drugs you're on.
Well, we're back together.
We've been here. Okay. Well, if that's what it is. You know, all I know is that we got a lot of followers from the Philippines. The Philippines. And there's someone from England. And then I got someone over here from Nicaragua. What is that? I can't even make out that
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
I think Bob Clapper's from Nicaragua, ain't he? Or
I think he's from Jersey.
Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, well, close.
It's kind of like Nicaragua.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Excited that baseball, we've only got 10 more days till opening day.
That's right. Exciting. In New York, 20% capacity at Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. So the fans will be coming back. So that's a good sign.
Well, I hope so. And
don't say I hope so. Just say, yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's just that I saw what was happening in Miami yesterday, and that was crazy. And why is it happening? And are things like that going to happen in New York? And you're right. Let me keep this positive.
Yeah, keep it positive. It's not going to happen in New York. People want to see baseball. I think they'll manage their affairs well, and everybody's getting vaccinated and doing the right thing. New Yorkers have done the right thing for the most part for a whole year now. So hopefully that'll continue.
Well, let's hope so. And let's hope that we stop all this stuff with the governor and that he's got like 37 girlfriends and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Let's live life already.
Well, let's turn things around here. I got some personal
what they caught you too?
No, they didn't catch me. My granddaughter, Alyssa, who's 6 years old. Well, that's my daughter, Gia. It's her birthday today. Alyssa's her birthday 2 days ago, 6 years old. Alyssa, and my daughter Gia. It's her birthday. She turns 28.
Sure, that's your daughter, Steve.
And then that's Dasha.
Yeah.
That's her husband wearing that Yankee hat there.
Oh, that's
in
nice
Brazil.
hat.
Yes,
Nice hat. Nice Brazilian hat.
Yes, yes. But happy birthday. I love them very, very much.
Mhm.
And 70 years ago today, gentlemen, let's check it out. We've all been part of this. Let's check it out. 70 years ago, this started it all.
Lucy and Ricky.
Robby, I know you watched Lucy back in the day.
Absolutely, man. I mean, what an amazing show. And I tell you what, I don't want to sound like an old grandpa saying, get off my lawn, but man, they sure made great shows back then, didn't they?
Oh,
yes, sir. Between that and the Honeymooners, unreal. But also today, 102 years ago today, one of the greatest of the great was born, the great Nat King Cole.
Ah,
Okay?
Yes.
One of the greatest of the great.
Amazing talent. And a lot of people don't know that he was actually a great jazz piano player. As a matter of fact, the Nat King Cole Trio, he played a lot more before he even started singing.
Well,
Brilliant. Yeah.
Well, even better. I bet you don't even know this, and you're a Dodger fan. The people that let the first African American into Major League Baseball. Well, Nat King Cole happened to be a tremendous center fielder.
Is that right?
That's right. He could hit the curveball.
Wow.
But he was a better singer.
I think, yeah, you're right.
But, so many great things have happening. And going back in the day, there's a player out there that you kind of been close to back in the 70s, Sparky Lyle.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out with you saw a promo about the Bronx Zoo. He came out with his own book, The Bronx Zoo, kind of talking about how the Yankee world was like the Bronx Zoo. Would you agree with him?
Well, I was there. I lived it. And you know what? Like I always tell the players today ask me, why do you remember everything from that era? And I always say, because I didn't have to play. I walked into the clubhouse, sat down, and I scrapped in, and I had the best seat in the house. Wow! And I was watching the greatest show on earth.
Wow! I mean, back then it was great. They got him from the Red Sox, right, in '72.
Sparky, and you know what? Bob Clappish can argue with me if he wants. But I'm gonna say this: during the Steinbrenner era, Sparky Lyle was the most important relief pitcher that he ever had.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow. Well,
take that, Mariano.
We have a clip in 77. He won the Cy Young Award, but in 77.
You guys keep bringing up 77. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, well, 77 and 78. Just sit back a little bit, Robby, because in 77, Lyle pitched 5 1/3 inning against the Royals that put the Yankees in Game 5 that led to the World Series. Let's check out a little clip of Lyle pitching against Kansas City.
But right here, it's George Brett against Sparky Lyle. There are 2 out. The Yankees have had difficulty, as we told you, winning in this ballpark. They won the first game this year. Since then, they've lost 5 straight. Line drive, left field. Pinella's there, makes the play. Ball was well hit, but right at him. So that ends the inning. Right at Chambliss, hit well, but Lyle has a 3-up, 3-down inning. There are 2 outs. Zepp, fly ball right center field. Reggie Jackson should have it for the 3rd out. He does. So the Royals are scoreless again. The Yankees still lead 5-4. Elston Howard getting the signals from Gene Michaels as they move the defense. Line drive, 1 hot. Meadows to Randolph. 1 over the first double play. 5-4-3. But they
5 1/3 innings put the Yankees in Game 5, and then we beat your boys, Robby, after that.
Yeah, you sure did. By the way, Ray, that book, A Bronx Zoo, that really did shake things up in New York, though, didn't it, when it came out?
Any Yankee book in that era shook things up, whether it was Bulls or the Bronx Zoo. I mean, there were several books that really kicked butt. And later on, again, I'm going to bring up Bob Clappish would write several books which were actually outstanding books.
That's
Wow.
right. Well, we're gonna switch gears. Our community segment. We're gonna come back to Sparky. We're gonna bring Bob Clappish on in a moment, and we got Carmine right here in another studio, or maybe this studio. Who knows?
Carmine.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's segment of Community. So this week we're all over the place. We're going to start off in Tampa from our Youth Heroes show. We have Rachel Barcelona. Rachel has been doing amazing things this week. Steve, why don't you inform everyone?
Yeah,
about
the Tampa Bay Lightning, the world champion Tampa Bay Lightning, offered Rachel Barcelona a Community Hero Award, $50,000 to put to a favorite charity, and she picked 3 charities out. That's Rachel on the right. She got honored last night in Tampa Bay, and it was a great evening. There she is with her jersey on there, and Tampa Bay does it right. I think she's the 40th person to get the Community Hero Award.
One of our girls,
One of our girls, and she does great. And she sang last year outside Yankee Stadium when we had that big event right outside the ballpark.
You know, she's wonderful, and all our kids, the kids that we support have been doing wonderful things, and I'm very, very proud. And I know Mr. Steinbrenner would be proud of the things that are going on with these kids.
That's right. That's right.
And Rachel helps with our Youth Hero shows on Thursday nights, so make sure you stay tuned to that. So moving forward, though, Steve, Paw It Forward. Tell our audience about Paw It Forward.
Yes, there's a nonprofit organization in Long Island, Paw It Forward, and they give back. They rescue animals, dogs and cats and everything, and give them food. Where families are struggling for their own food, they can't afford the dog food. So this is Danielle Scala. She has an organization in Valley Stream, and Long Island Care stepped up and bought a shed for her because she was running out of room to store all the donations that she's been given, so that she could give it out to families and families in need of dog food and animal food and pet supplies. So yesterday was a ribbon cutting ceremony right in Valley Stream, and the Assemblywoman was there, and it had a great crowd. And Danielle, keep up the great work. Despite some loss in her family, she continues to turn it out to help others.
And speaking of the dog food and everything, that's where we found Steve initially several years ago. So
yeah, you did find me. Yes, right, right. That's a good segue there, right?
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, so right into Valley Stream, we're going to stay at the Valley Stream Presbyterian Church. We have a video that's going to tell us about what's going on this past week at Valley Stream.
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
So this is like the next to last Saturday at the church here. What's the name of the church again?
Valley Stream Presbyterian Church.
Valley Stream Presbyterian. I've been here for a year. I'm almost going to learn it. What is it again?
Valley Stream Presbyterian Church.
Valley Stream. Okay, and look at the different stuff that they're giving to all the families and all of that. Masks, Pampers for the adults. Will this fit me? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, bagels. You know what I'm saying? The guy's filling up the boxes. You know, it's unbelievable. Look at what goes into the box. Tell us what goes into the box.
We got oats, we got rice, we got linguine, we got pineapple, we got kidney bean, peanut butter, carrots. A lot of good stuff for a lot of people who really need it.
Okay, well, listen. Keep going. We got one more Saturday here at
Valley Stream Presbyterian Church.
Valley Stream Presbyterian Church. Okay, one more Saturday?
One more Saturday.
Okay, God bless.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
On this video, it said one more Saturday. So
Right.
we're stopping? What's the
No,
deal with
we
that?
never stop. We go into another church.
Yeah, well, anyway, new news. The Assemblywoman was going to pick up some food donations, and each Saturday we're still going to be at that church. We're making the arrangements to continue after Long Island Cares, and they will continue to deliver food once all the paperwork is done. So we might be continuing.
3,000 families in 1 year have been served there. 3,000 families.
And we have to thank Bagel Chalet. They continue
Thank
to
you,
give
Bagel Chalet.
bagels for a whole year. We've been working with them.
Thank
So
you,
God
Bagel
bless.
Chalet, even though
God
you didn't
bless
give us
them.
no cream cheese.
Well, they give us everything but great work that's going
Yeah,
on.
but they should give us some cream cheese, Steve.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out.
We'll make
So,
arrangements for that.
All right.
next time.
Well, let's
But
move on.
Thank you so much for their efforts and everything to keep going with it. Now we're gonna move it to the Bronx. Now we were at the Bronx this week with Jerome, Ray, and I, and we're dropping off toys there for everyone at the Bronx
And food.
and food. So that's always great. And we're gonna pop it to our final segment, which is coming from the president of the International Baseball Little League. Let's check this out.
I am Gabriel Vargas, president of the International Baseball Little League. I want to say thank you very much to Gleyben Torres, Gio Chela, New York Yankees, and Ray Negron. We appreciate what you send it to us. Thank you for the hand sanitation and the meat on the pandemic. We use it. Thank you very much. Let's go Yankees.
15 minutes in. Excuse me.
Unbelievable, great work that continued for different groups that are coming out and supporting everything that we're doing.
H21, Steve.
Yes.
H21. And we got this in the Bronx. We got this throughout the city, and we got this in Venezuela and Colombia.
Right. And so many great people are helping us give out this importance of today. Grace Fernandez brought some supplies from Staples. So we're so thankful for all our community partners. But we have a great sports writer on the line here. Bob Clappish does so much great work for the New York and New Jersey area. His sports writing has been top notch, and he has a couple of books out. But Bob joins us from time to time to share his thoughts on baseball and specifically Yankee baseball. So, Bob, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's Bob Clappish. Sorry. Hi, Bobby.
What's going on? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Bob. Talk about baseball 10 days away from opening day.
It feels like spring training just flew by. It was shorter than usual spring training this year. It was only 6.5 weeks as opposed to 7 and change. So much has happened in a COVID setting. In some respects, it was not as much fun to be in spring training as in the past because we had so little access to the players. Once again, as last summer, we were not allowed in the clubhouse. We didn't get on the field. We couldn't do any one-on-one interviews. So it was lacking in that sense as a reporter. But, in the general scheme of things, as a baseball fan, which I am and which you guys are, it's just great to have the game back. And it's great to be on the doorstep of another season and a full season. We're not going to have to worry about a 60-game rush job. We're going to have 162 games. Hopefully this COVID protocols will work and we won't have any interruptions, any suspended games or canceled games. We're going to have a full season of baseball, and we're all looking forward to that. Can't wait.
Bobby, now I'm going to have to ask you from the standpoint of the Yankees report. Now, the big question has been and will continue to be Gary Sanchez. What can you tell us? What can you give us? Where is his head? How hard is he working, etc.?
Well, there's kind of a tale of two stories here. The tale of two catchers. I mean, the first 2 weeks of the exhibition season, Gary was on fire. I mean, it was like a completely different catcher than what we saw in the last year and a half. Completely remade himself. He showed up in camp in the best shape of his life. And I know it's a very overused cliche, but he was more agile. He was more athletic. I mean, he was doing all kinds of core lengthening and loosening exercises throughout the winter. And it showed. He was just so much quicker and more nimble behind the plate. He did not have a pass ball for the first 47 innings in spring training games, which is, it's a completely different catcher. You would have never thought that about Gary a year ago. That's how bad he looked and unathletic he had become. So all things were great until about March 15th, March 16th, about the last 10 days or so, he went into a terrible slump. He stopped hitting. So I don't really know which Gary we're going to see on opening day. But the potential for improvement, for really being the catcher who the Yankees think he can be, it's there. He proved it earlier this month that he, for a short time, he unlocked the key to the Gary Sanchez we all know. I mean, the real Gary Sanchez, who I think is the one the Yankees are counting on, is there somewhere. And they're going to be patient with him. I mean, I've had fans ask me, well, how soon before they put him on the bench? How soon before we see Higashioka behind the plate? It won't be anytime soon. They're going to give Gary 4-6 weeks, Memorial Day. They're going to let him get himself straightened out because he showed glimpses of what he can be.
Do we not have sound from, can you hear me, Bob?
I can hear you, can't hear Ray.
All right. Well, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But but and I know, and I think most baseball fans know that spring training is really, it's not a true test of what's going to happen in the season. Can you expound on that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been around the game long enough to know that it's a very small sample size, and players are there working on certain things. And by and large, most teams come to camp with about 20 to 22 positions locked up. So, the old-fashioned, battling for a job, like it used to be when I first started covering baseball in the 80s, that does not exist anymore. Players are there to, work on specific aspects of their game and get themselves ready for opening day as opposed to winning a job. But there are two notable exceptions in the Yankees case. Domingo Germán showed up in camp this year with literally the weight of the world on his shoulders. He had to prove that his stuff was still intact. Remember, he has not been in the game now for 19 months because of his domestic violence suspension. 2, he had to prove that he was mature enough, responsible enough to live the life of a professional athlete again. And I guess there's 3. There's 3 is he had to repair the damaged relationships in his clubhouse with his teammates. So he came to camp with a very, very unique agenda.
Sure.
And I'll tell you what, he passed on all 3 tests. He checked all 3 boxes. He was lights out, did not give up a run this spring. I think he's pitching tonight, actually.
Wow.
I'm sorry. He pitched a live BP this morning. Did not give up a run this spring. Said all the right things, apologized to his teammates, kept himself out of trouble for 6 weeks in Florida. And by and large, he's done some damage control with his teammates in the clubhouse. So I think he's gone into spring training with a good head of steam, with a good deal of momentum. Look, he beat out Debbie Garcia for the number 5 spot. I did not think that would have been possible on February 15th. He's your number 5 starter, and he's come back from the ash heap. Put it this way, and I'll conclude with this: had he not had a good spring, if he was getting lit up in spring training games from the get-go, it's not impossible that the Yankees would have just released him and said, you know what, there's just too much baggage here. We don't need the headache. He's not pitching well. Let's just move on. We'll part ways. I don't think he would have been on the roster opening day. Instead, he's in the starting rotation.
Bob, do you agree that the Yankee way has always been? We've always had scenarios like that in the clubhouse anyway, and that's when we win.
Well, yes. I mean, creative tension. There's no question that the Yankees have always had these underlying tensions, although it's much less now, Ray, than it was back in the day. I mean, this is
you know why that is
versus Reggie.
Why that is, Bob, is because Ray's not in the clubhouse anymore.
There you go.
Hey, yeah,
Ray,
good point, Robby. Good point.
Right.
Good point. But let's switch on the other side of New York. Lindor, is he going to sign with the Mets, or what's going on over there?
He's certainly not going to sign with them before the end of the year. I mean, if there was a window, it would have been right before spring training. But you know what? He's going to be a free agent. He's going to see how much money there's out there. But 2 things I think are going to happen. 1, I think he's going to love being a Met. I think he's going to really enjoy the atmosphere. The Mets, I predict they're going to win about 91, 92 games this year. I don't think they're going to win the East. I don't think they're going to win the pennant. The Dodgers are the best team in the majors. I think they're going to the World Series.
Hold it. What did you say, Bob? Can you say that again?
Your sound is off, Robby. We can't hear you.
The Yankees and Dodgers are going to be in the World Series together. It's going to be an old-fashioned showdown between 2 legacy franchises. The Mets, but it's going to be great in New York because I think the Yankees are about a 97 to 100 win team. The Mets are 90 to 93 wins. It's going to be good baseball, and I think the fans are going to love Lindor. I think he's going to love the energy in New York. And, of course, he's going to test free agency, but the Mets are going to have a head start on signing him. And part two of that, he's going to find out that Steve Cohen has all the money in the world. He has enough money to feed a third world nation, and he's going to spend it freely. And he's going to make sure that Lindor is a Met. He's going to make sure the Mets are the highest bidders, and I think he's going to be back next year for a long-term deal.
My last question, Bob, to you is, do you think that Lindor will give Gio Urshela an agent's commission because since they're best friends, he's going to want to stay in New York?
Well, I don't think that Lindor needed any convincing. I think he probably would have been happy as a Yankee. And I know the Yankees had their eye on him. He was going to be their next option if LeMahieu had left. He had gone to the Dodgers, which was not impossible. Small probability, but it was the Yankees had prepared for a plan B. Lindor was going to be that plan B. But I do think that Lindor is bought in very quickly to what this New York experience has been about. Even in spring training, you get this feeling that he's really happy in his surroundings and he's with a team that's committed financially. It's a new owner. It's an excited fan base. They've been waiting forever for that breakthrough, and this may be it. This is going to be a really good year for the Mets.
Have you ever met Lenny Randle?
I have not, but I'm a big fan. I mean, he kind of predates me a little bit, but I know all about him. Very interesting guy. I can tell you that from afar. Very interesting guy.
If you were going to introduce Lenny Randle to this show, what would you say? What would be your introduction, Bob?
That they don't make players like him anymore. And I would say that in general about players from the 70s and 80s. They just don't exist in this day and age. And I would just want to know about the very famous incident with him blowing the ball foul.
Yeah.
You'd never see that in the year 2020. I mean, guys with unique personalities and are unafraid to express themselves. God bless you. I wish there were more like him.
Lenny Randle, welcome to the show.
How you doing there, Lenny?
Robby.
Giovanni, you guys look young. Lenny.
Look, Lenny, we've got 72 requests from people wanting to know, did you really blow the ball foul?
Okay, I wear 3 hats. I never tell a lie. I did not blow the ball foul. I yelled at the ball. I said, "Go foul ball!"
All right. Well, Lenny, look at what the fans decide. Let's check it out. What happened on that day? Let's check it out.
Got to see this.
Otis, right-handed hitter against reliever Larry Anderson. Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll. Lenny Randle gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul. Randle puts on quite a show, and here comes Jim Fry out, and he's going to protest with home plate umpire Larry McCoy that Randle cannot get down and influence the direction of the baseball. A little full swing trickler by Otis down the third baseline. It looked like it might just stay fair, and Randle coming in make you forget Laurel and Hardy in a hurry, and he comes in. looked like your basic man with a broom, the curler out on the ice. And
Wait a second. That was AstroTurf. That was not that had to have been all. You had to have affected the trajectory of that ball. There's no way it curls left on its own. Come on.
AstroTurf, grass, Tiger Woods, lawn, it wouldn't matter. When you yell at the ball would do nothing. Ask Judge Judy or Bob Shapiro. They know.
Now, Lenny.
You know what? Let me say one thing. You know what I love second most about that clip? Those uniforms, the stirrups, man. That brought me back to when I was playing ball in high school. The stirrups,
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's got to make a comeback someday.
Lenny,
Market those, Bob. Stirrups. Bring
Yeah.
stirrups.
the second biggest question asked, what was the relationship with you and Billy Martin? What was the love thing with you and Billy Martin?
Madonna mia. Billy Martin was like General Patton, a guy like Joe Torre, like Ted Williams. They were leaders of military. They were leaders of troops, players, ballers. We took a hill. We took a game because Billy was at the top of the hill saying, "Come on, guys, catch me. Do anything to win. I'll adopt you. Run through a wall. We'll take a bullet for Billy Martin." That's how he raised us. We came through the organization hardcore and tough. Piniella, Willie Randolph, Nettles, everybody that was around. Mike Hargrove, Jim Sundberg. I can name 50 to 100 guys that are clone Billy Martins that people know that. And Billy was a great mentor in our lives, not just on the field, off the field. We'd go frog hunt with him and Mickey Mantle in Kansas City at midnight to catch frogs. He brought a chemistry, camaraderie. He made us feel comfortable. He felt like a big brother, a dad, a godfather. He was phenomenal. He was just natural that way. He was a winner. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and I'm pissed off at you 5 guys for not joining in with me to get the 91 win a season, turned around 7 franchises in the Hall of Fame. Billy Martin Jr. called collect.
Okay, and let me point something out. Let me point something out. What happened? Lenny Randle got into a fight with a manager, Frank Lucchese. Okay, and when that happened, and look at you. Hey, Billy was very proud of the whole Italian thing, being Italian. You understand what I'm saying? But when Lenny got into that situation with Lucchese, Billy Martin picked up the phone. I was right there. and he called Lucchese, and he said to Lucchese, "You better get off of my guy, or else you're not only going to have issue with him, you're going to have issue with me." I heard him say it point blank. That's how much Billy Martin loved this man.
Billy Martin's son, Billy Jr., every day, I said, Billy, I'm a football player playing baseball. I'm like Kirk Gibson. Football player playing like John Stearns. We took little Billy in the outfield and right field every day. Guys are watching going, you're going to be a wide receiver. You're going to be catching passes with Troy Aikman. Here's how you go down and out. You got to dig Deion Sanders. He's going, Coach, Lenny should be with us in the high school team. He's in high school. And Billy would go every day, Lenny, just take him out there, take 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes. Turn him into a football player. Every day. So they would come out on the field. We incorporated a football and a baseball, catching passes the same way. That's why there's your Deons and your Tebows and your Brian Hunters, the two-sport athlete guys. We were always Ray was a two-sport basketball, baseball, and it was just part of our life. So we knew the movement, we knew the agility, we knew the hip work. So when Billy Jr. got on the field, baseball was a piece of cake. He wanted to play football, and we trained him every day. He should have been with the Cowboys.
Right. And Lenny, you were a first-round pick in '71. You were a captain of your high school baseball and football team. You had a great year in 1974 for the Rangers. And talk about that era of playing. I mean, you've been so many major league teams, the Senators last year. You were on the field when the lights went out at Shea Stadium. You were all over the place. Talk about that era of baseball. Is it the same today or way different?
It's so different because your Ted Williams managers flew into my college at Arizona State University. He says, the hell with Reggie Jackson. I want Lenny, and I want Alan Bannister, and I want Craig Swan, and I want Larry Gurra, and I'm going, whoa. He wanted our whole team. Our whole team was a major league team. So when Ted came there, he goes, we're going to go hunting and fishing, and we're going to go go-kart riding. I'm in college. And he goes, you're going to be my number one pick. I go, and you are. I didn't know who he was. I knew him as a pilot.
Ted Williams?
I didn't know. Look, I'm from Compton. I knew Roy White, Reggie Smith, Don Wilson. We had so many Tommy Lasorda. I knew Don Drysdale, Albert Pearson, Charlie Neal, Tommy Davis. I saw them every day. Maury Wills. I didn't know Ted Williams. I'm sorry. I got introduced by Ted Williams because of Bobby Winkles. Bobby Winkles goes, this guy wants to talk to you about drafting you in college, and you're going to go to the Washington Senators. He says, you kid, get over here. I want you to meet Richard Nixon. I go, who? Oh, I know Richard Nixon because he's from Whittier. He's a baller. I knew him before president. He goes, well, if you come to Washington, D.C., you can hang out with me and Dick, Tricky Dick.
But Lenny, when you see this picture of the Kingdome, let's put that up for a minute. There's the old Kingdome there. You came up with a song. We got to play a little clip of this. This is pretty cool stuff. Let's check it out. I knew Robby would get a kick out of that.
Hey,
that
Lenny,
takes me right back. That's like
there's
the
some
Sugar
funky
Hill
bass
game,
going on there too, brother. Who's playing on that? Do you know?
I got Thad
Wow.
got Mike Simpson, Joe Simpson, Julio Cruz, Dave Henderson, Dave Havelo, Dick Drago. I had the whole team. We were on a strike. So we had nothing to do with singing. Larry Anderson was the biggest, funniest guy I've ever been with on any.
That's awesome, man.
Oh my God. So we start singing for Davey Finnick and the kid that's start booking us on the road, catch a rising star. We want guys, we're booked after the game. We're going to New York.
So this is before the Super Bowl shuffle with the Bears. So you guys were the first ones to do it.
The legitimate athletes that see Thad Bosley was like Brian McKnight and Stevie Wonder range in 5 minutes. And then the guy jealous of them with Dave Justice, because they couldn't sing. We put them in the background.
but Lenny, you also the first American-born player to play in Italy too. That's great.
Non conosce l'italiano. You see, I'm wearing my Roman hat, right?
Yeah.
31
there
years.
You go. And you batted. Your first year, you batted 477 there. Crazy numbers.
Wow.
Dude, I was blessed by the Pope. I should have brought him to New York.
And you're a stand-up comic too. You do it all. And when we were talking the other day, you told me back in the day you gave Ray a car, and I got the key for you. I don't know where the car is though.
Hey, the car's right next to Reggie's Rolls with no wheels.
Hey,
Ray was so nice about this. You guys don't know this. But see, you guys think about Hall of Famers, and I think about the people in the every day doing the field, serving the Baskin-Robbins ice cream, getting our cars, getting our bats, escorting our wives and girlfriends back and forth. Ray used to take our keys, and in 15 minutes, he'd have the car back ready, shined, washed, and ready to go. And we didn't even ask him to do it. He did it out of kindness and love. And here he was every day catching ground balls with Bucky Dent and Willie. And we go, dude, you're 17. Why don't you want to play? I'm George's adopted son. I go, oh, I get it. So his image needs to be preserved because he knows all the history. He took me at 17 in Joe DiMaggio's little room and hangout with Louis Tiant, and we were on roller skates. I don't know if you remember this. We were on roller skates. And George goes, what the frick are they doing on roller skates? I'm going, George, 30 pounds. Okay, lose 30 pounds and win 30 games. Oh, okay. I can go with that. Go in this little DiMaggio. Remember that little room, DiMaggio's room? And Ray goes, no one goes in there, and you can't tell anybody. It's a problem. Where's that room now? Where is that room?
No, it's torn down. It's gone. It's gone.
Listen, there's so much risk history that Ray knows that nobody else knows. He should have a mind.
That's right.
That's right. But before we go to our next outstanding guest, the other day you're coaching your grandson, Bryce, in baseball. We got a little picture of him.
Hey, Bryce.
We don't. Okay. Well, Bryce is.
I sent it to you. Bryce is. Listen, you guys call me so much. Bryce goes, Dad, they're annoying. You get 4 calls a day. No one calls you like this. Who are these people? He came up to me and he goes, he wrote out annoying. I went, you can spell annoying? Are you kidding me? This is Bryce. Bryce.
Oh, there's Bryce. There we go.
Let him see you, bro. Come
there he is.
There we go.
There he is.
There we go. Nice. Well, Lenny, stay tight right there. And Bob, if you have to go, we understand. But Robby, we have an outstanding guest. You want to intro him?
Okay. Well, Lenny, you mentioned Hall of Fame, and we've got a Hall of Famer coming up next. This guy, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's in the Hammond Organ Hall of Fame. He's in the Songwriter Hall of Fame. He's in the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. And he's in the Grammy Hall of Fame. And he's on Mount Rushmore of all of my heroes and all of my idols. I could not be more excited to welcome onto the show from the group The Rascals, Mr. Felix Cavalieri.
Cavalieri, Italiano. Bello.
Guys, we'll see you later.
All right, Bob. Thank you so much.
All
Bob
right.
Clappers,
Lenny,
Sports
take
Friday,
care,
New
man.
Jersey. Thank you so much, sir.
Now, we do have Felix, I hope, right?
Yeah.
He's not there. He was there, but he's not there right now. So
okay, I'll tell you what. I have a little clip.
Here he is. Here he is.
Hey, Lenny.
Hey,
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? And I want to say hello to Lenny. ¿Cómo está?
Ragazzi, parli con me.
Hey, good to see you.
Cazzo, capito? Mannaggia.
Pleasure to meet you, my friend. Pleasure to meet you. I love to see people with smiles in their faces. God bless you. Absolutely.
Yes. So, Robby, talk about your relationship with Felix over the years.
Well, I can tell you, I love the Hammond organ. I'm a Hammond organ player for 40 plus years. And Felix Cavalieri is one of the 3 biggest heroes of my life. I mean, he's a big inspiration. He's a big hero. Every note that I play has some Felix Cavalieri in it.
Fantastic.
He's up on Mount Rushmore for me.
That's great.
That's unbelievable.
And Felix, talk about your career.
Stop music. The 3 of us. We got to.
There you go. Let's go on the road.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Va bene.
Well, we have a little clip first. We want to show our viewers out there about your music a little bit. So we're going to school them a little bit. Let's show that clip.
Gato, Felix. All right.
Yeah.
Felice.
Felice. Don't go Felice.
I said, doctor, Mr. MD, doctor, can you tell me what ails me now, doctor? And he said, yeah. Yes, indeed. You know all I need, good love, baby, I want your love, good love. I need your love, good love, good loving, baby, good love. Afternoon, really couldn't get away too soon. I can't imagine anything better. World is ours whenever we're two. Ain't a place I'd like to be instead of grooving. I've been lonely too long. I've been lonely too long. In the past, they've come and gone. I feel like I can't go on without your love. Been lonely a little bit too long. Oh, lonely so long. We've been lonely. It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile, taking some clean fresh air. Of course, there's no use in staying inside.
Man.
Hello there.
Dude, can I have your autograph?
Man, you know, I've told this story. You know, years ago I met Willie Mays, you know. And Willie said to me, "Can I have your autograph?" And I said, "You're joking, right? You're joking, right? You're kidding me, right?" Willie Mays.
Wow.
You got,
how about that?
Willie, Tom Seaver used to sing in the Met Clubhouse together. Okay, they wanted to be rock stars.
I know.
Costa wants to be a ball player. We want to be guitar. I want to be Bruce Springsteen's cousin. Okay.
No, I know a lot of baseball players and football players. They want to play, and I've been trying to pitch since I was this big, you know, but I can't do it.
But Felix, your music has been legendary for decades and decades. When you see this stuff, how do you feel about affecting so many people in America, but internationally as well, with your music?
Well, you know, man, I tell you, the gift was given to us by the divine, and it's spread out throughout the planet. You know, and the joy that you get from watching people playing sports, and the gifts that they have, is also the gifts of music. And I mean, we communicate with the universe, you know. And what can you say except for, you know, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, folks.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Well,
you know, Steve, I was telling, you know, like I said, I'm a Hammond organ, and Felix is the guy who really brought Hammond organ into rock and roll. You were really the pioneer. And I talked to a lot of my Hammond buddies, and who have sent out this little shout out.
Oh, cool.
To give honor, to give tribute to Mr. Felix Cavalieri. Can we roll that clip?
Wow.
That's awesome.
Check this out. I've told you this, and I tell everybody this, and our Jam and Java audience who follows me knows this. I have 3 superheroes on my Mount Rushmore of Hammond organ players who have inspired me personally. One is Jimmy Smith.
Oh, yeah.
The other is Felix Cavalieri. And the other is Mark Stein. You three guys have been the biggest influence on me as a Hammond organ player. Thank you for that, brother.
Well, thank you for bringing it up, because those first two guys were the biggest Hammond organ influences on me. Jimmy Smith with the jazz funk, incredible taste and chops and speed. And then when it comes to rock, Felix Cavalieri, you know, the cat that I saw when I was maybe 18 years old, playing with a band called the Rascals, you know, in New York City, and I was completely blown away with the sound and the look of that fantastic instrument. And I used to go and just sit underneath that Hammond and watch him sing, and you know, such a soulful singer, and the way he played. And you know, after that, man, I just said, Dad, you got to help me get this thing called the Hammond B3 organ.
I took a few minutes and reached out to a few of my Hammond brothers and asked them just what kind of influence, what kind of impact that Felix Cavalieri had on their playing, on their career, on their music. I got some neat responses, so check some of these out.
Howard Larrabee here, Hammond brother and keyboard player for Three Dog Night. I want to send a shout out to one of my heroes, Felix Cavalieri, and just say thank you, Felix, for all the influence and the soul and the good vibes that you've brought to me and so many other people, but musicians too in particular. Much respect, brother. People got to be free.
Hi, Scott May from Chicago's Ides of March here, and we're talking about Felix Cavalieri today. One of the first bands that really drove me out of my mind, because I'm a Hammond organ player, was the Rascals. The Rascals in general, and Felix in particular. The band was just great, but Felix, oh boy, Felix was the man. Kicking pedals, making the Hammond go crazy. I also like the Vanilla Fudge. So, just want to say thank you for a lifetime of great music. Felix Cavalieri, one of the absolute kings of the Hammond organ. Rock on.
Hi, everybody. Ricky Peterson here with a shout out to all the great Hammond players, especially today. Felix Cavalieri, who is one of our favorite players on the planet, with his soulfulness and the full sound that he always had, the rock and roll that he played, and especially his voice, man. His voice was one of my favorites growing up. And we all emulate you, man, and we love you. And Felix, man, you're a bad boy. We love you. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Robby. It's Tim Bonham from the Beach Boys. I heard that you're having Felix Cavalieri coming out, which is one of the classics of all time. One of his solos is, you know, rock classic. I appreciate the rock influence that Felix has had on rock and roll music, and have fun, man. And guess what? The solo's coming up right now. Woo! That's it. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? How cool is that, man? Thank you, Rob. That was really sweet, man. I appreciate all you guys.
Well, that was coming from the Beach Boys, from Three Dog Night, from Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and from Fleetwood Mac, and from Scott May from Hammond organ.
Wow.
How about that?
Amazing.
See, I was also a great. I get a lot of thanks from chiropractors all over the world.
I bet.
See, the Hammond weighs about 500 pounds. You got to understand it.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, man. That was really nice, man. I appreciate that.
That's great. Talk about Felix. Talk about your friendship with Robby for a moment.
Well, you know, I mean, sometimes you meet people and they just kind of click, you know. And you know, from a musical point of view, I really admire his work. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, he's been working with a very dear friend of mine for many, many years, who I adore, Frankie Valli. And you know, it's nice when you get around. I'm sure Lenny can tell you, man, like what you miss the most. You miss the clubhouse. You miss the guys. You miss the people you're backstage with. You're back in the
Band,
that's what you
baby.
miss.
Yeah.
And like it used to be like that in the old days. In the real old days, everybody was on the same show. They used to have these way back, Murray the K shows, Alan Freed. Everybody was backstage. Bo Diddley, Darlene Love. Nowadays everybody's got their own dressing room in their own planet. You know what I mean? So when you go to work, you're alone. You're all alone. So I always felt this camaraderie with Robby, and to me, that's the missing part of our world is that
Felix, Robby,
people all over the world join hands.
Well, I can only say that I'm extremely grateful to Murray Bauer for getting you on the show today, Felix Cavalieri. Telling you, appreciate that.
Who's watching, by the way, Felix, I noticed somebody who checked in who's commented, Sal Bonura is watching right now.
That was our first job in the state of New Jersey.
Talk about that the Choo Choo Club, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That started it off. The reason it was the Choo Choo Club is because right behind the dressing room was a train. So you had to play loud. Otherwise, choo choo, choo choo, But anyway, we always, like I say, we always got to thank, the first people that put us to work. That was the beginning. And, shout out to you. God bless you. Hope you're all right, my friend.
Lenny, you had a question for Felix?
Yeah. Robby, Felix, Ray, Steve. This is a tour, $500,000 tour. I got the tab. We're going to listen to your music every pregame this opening day season in 51 stadiums. We're taking you to Italy. And listen, remember post-game Ray, Eartha Kitt would come in. We would have Boss Skaggs and Joni. I used to hang out with all those guys post. Melba Moore. I used to go, and we got to play a game. It's 4 a.m. I got to go home. It was
you got to get some rest.
To hang out with you guys. You guys were, our pregame music was your music. If we heard your music, we got 2 hits. If we heard 2 songs, we got 4 hits.
Well, I didn't miss too many games. Let me tell you, I didn't miss too many games. I got locked into sports as a young man, and I've been watching it. By the way, do you guys know that son, Al Leiter's son, gets the no-hitter for Vanderbilt? Did you see that?
Yeah, 16 strikeouts.
Yeah, how about that, man? I think that's his first game. Vanderbilt has a heck of a baseball team. If you don't know, and how about that? No-hitter, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we're out of time here, but this has been a blessing to have Felix and Lenny on. Thank you so very much. Be safe, guys, and we'll definitely see you down the road real soon.
Thank you both. Hall of Famers in my mind, always. Both of you. Thank you so much.
You, sir. Hey, God bless you guys. Take care of yourself, Len.
Thank you, Len. Thank you, Felix.
God bless.
Ready for the tour.
Yeah, we'll get there for the tour.
I'm ready. I am so ready, my man.
So, Robby, what are we ending the show off tonight? What are we going home with?
Well, you know what? Tonight, this is a weird day for Felix for me because as I mentioned in that clip, 2 of my biggest heroes are you and Mark Stein. And on my Jam and Java show that I have in a couple hours, Mark Stein is going to be on. So I'm like in Hammond heaven here. But I tell you what, let's talk about Felix for a minute because I don't want to go away yet. We got a couple more minutes.
Okay.
You know what? Some of the songs that Felix has written, Groovin', How Can I Be Sure?
Oh my God.
Come On Up. It's a Beautiful Morning. People got to be free. You better run. Love is a beautiful thing. I've been lonely too long and a girl like you. Felix, talk about one of your favorites there.
Oh, man.
Right
now,
whatever you got to say.
Got to Be Free's #1 on my hit parade. It's about time people start to wake up. It's 2021. This is the United States of America. Get it?
Yeah.
It's about time you did.
Amen.
You were ahead of your time writing that song, brother.
It's the silliest thing I've ever seen. Can you imagine now? They jump from race to race. We don't like you. Who do you like? Who do you love? Well, then you should turn off the TV because there ain't nobody on but soul brothers and sisters.
Right. That's right.
Turn it off.
President.
Hey, yeah, Felix for president. What do you think about that, Felix?
Hey, see, man, I already started. I got no hair to start with, so I don't need that.
Well, guys, thank you so very much. And we're going to go home. Take us some home. Robby, you got one of your songs with Sarah Nimitz. We're going to push it to Major League Baseball.
Oh.
Let's check it out. God bless, guys.
Hey, take care, man. Be safe. Be safe.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Lenny root for my home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out.